issue of 100 days of whatever is an absurdity that should take the back stage in our evaluation of, governments and its activities, especially when you have a new administration in place. To start with, over time, we have always played around with this, issue of 100 days, and I think it gets a number of people excited and quite a number of people, apprehensive. But I would like to come from a standpoint of the fact that the challenges that every government in Nigeria and all over the world face, especially upon transition, is to be able to decipher from what stage are they taking over. If we come to look at the Cross River State, without having to ask anyone, without having to, prove anything, I would personally establish the fact that Senator Prince Bassey Edem, the governor of Cross River State, has had a difficult transition. A difficult transition because for those who are aware, the Cross River State has had a very fragile polity, a very fragile economy. Infrastructure has been virtually dilapidated, and the economy itself has been on intensive care and what have you. There has been a lot of political, conflicts here and there. And so when you aspire for governance, at those initial stages of campaigns and what have you, you really don't know what you're about to go and meet. And when you have a difficult transition, the tendency is that expectations are very high, demands are very high, and what you meet on ground is a completely different reality from what your expectations are. First and foremost, you find out that finance is a great challenge. Resources are not in place. The establishment is weak. And it's like being thrown into the deep end of an ocean. So you would need to galvanize all of your intellect, all of your resources and personnel, capacity and competencies, even courage to be able to take the first baby steps in a new administration. Coupled with this is the fact that, because of the type of polity that we have, there is always an expectation and a sense of entitlement, especially by actors in the political, environment. The people who believe that as soon as, you assume office, you must give them appointments. And so appointments have virtually overwhelmed the expectation of the deliverable of the governor. And besides that, you also see a situation where people who have been in office for 8 years, for 12 years, expect that they must continue. And so there is a very limited opportunity to bring in new blood, new ideas, new strength, new vision, a new vista, and that you don't need to be in government office forever. All right? There must be a time, there must be a season when you would voluntarily step aside in order for new energies to be adopted and integrated into the administration. It does not mean that you are not valuable, but you can transfer your experience to value on another platform. I would like to say categorically that the advantage of the Prince Bassey Edem administration is that there is a conviviality of some sort. There is an acceptance of the fact that he has the disposition, he has the experience to lead the state forward. And he also is able to attract new energies, investment, and what have you to the economy. There is need for the building blocks to be put in place, the structures for the restoration of the Cross River State to that peak that we all aspire is a continuous project. And so I would like to discourage people from thinking that, the first 100 days will be the greatest indicator of the success of an administration. I don't think that is a situation that we should be looking at this point in time. I would also like, especially, to appeal to Cross Riverians who have been within and outside the state to bring together their capacities, to bring together their ideas for this government to be able to take off. It's going to be a very great challenge. And when you begin to look at the People's First agenda of the governor, if the building structure and blocks are not in place, if the foundation are not re-strengthened, it would be a very difficult, challenge to face. So I'd like to entreat Cross Riverians to be a little bit patient with the new administration. It's not very helpful for us to set up half a dozen platforms of 300 people each, specifically to criticize, find faults, and so on and so forth, drive energies that are not helpful to the commonwealth of the state. I believe that if we all harness our ideas and put such ideas at the disposal of government, then we would be builders, for the new Cross River State that we all anticipate.